Let's make a realistic snail together using real seashell and clay. Here I'm using Angelic Rose cosclay and also some translucent cosclay as well. We need to prepare the clay, mix it together, warm it up with our hands. We need to mix the two together really well and make it nice and soft to work with, which is really easy with cosclay. This is kind of the reason it's my favorite clay, because it's just so easy to work with. It's easy to warm up and prepare. Using this mixture of clays, I take a little piece and I use also some liquid cosclay on the inside of the seashell, and I put that mixture of clay inside the shell. Later, it will help us to attach the shell to the body of the snail. Here I'm working on the body, starting to prepare the shape. When I started rolling the snail's body, I realized I should probably do what I normally do and clean up the surface with some alcohol to make sure nothing sticks, there's no dust to stick to the body and to get the clay dirty, which I realized happened earlier and got a little bit of stuff stuck to it. So I'm just gonna get rid of it later using my Excel blade. When working on the snail body, we want to make sure that proportions are correct, so we always check it next to the shell and see how it will look comparing to the size of the shell. Once you're happy with the size, you can start pinching with your fingers on the both sides to make the little floppy parts of the snail's body and start smoothing out. And again, checking next to the shell, see if its proportions are good and correct. You can help yourself with a silicone tool, or you can just use your fingers and take your time and slowly stretch out the sides. Constantly working on smoothing all the grooves, all the fingerprints, just slowly making it look as realistic as possible. I think it's time to attach the shell. Using some liquid cosclay. And using silicone tool, attaching the snail to the shell, smoothing every groove. Now I'm going to use paint brushes to smooth everything, and I wipe them with alcohol before starting to work with them. And once they're clean and wiped with alcohol, I'm smoothing even more grooves and any fingerprints I can find or anything that needs to be smoothed out. I I really like the texture that these paintbrushes create when I use them, especially on the snail. I think it gives it even more realistic look. You see those little grooves? I love it. Now it's time to make the antennas. Let's roll out a tiny piece of clay. We're going to cut off 2 identical size pieces and make our antennas. Once you think they're ready, attach them to the body of the snail with some sharp tool or using a silicone tool. Smooth out the attached spots with a silicone tool and add more details to the face. I use liquid cosclay to make the attached spots more secure. Now it's time to add more details to the little face. Make a little mouth-like area and put on the antennas. Rolling out another piece of clay for the antennas. Oh, look at that mustache. It's gonna be a French snail with mustache. Just kidding, just regular snail with antennas. But if you want your snail to have a mustache, you can totally do that, and you can make them whatever shape you like. I used some alcohol on my paintbrush and smoothing everything once again to achieve the most realistic look. Here I'm using brown pen pastels to give the snail even more realistic look. Now to make the snail match the seashell, we're going to add some patterns that match the color with a little bit of brown and a little bit of pink pen pastels. Using a paintbrush, I'm creating dots-like pattern. Can you tell it's already looking more realistic? Shout out to Pen Pastels. They are so nice to work with. Just a tiny bit of pink to match the shell. And it's all ready to bake. And here it is, all fresh out of the oven. Look at how flexible cosclay is. Now I'm going to add some more pastels, add more shading underneath and all around the ridges, the edges, and I'm going to use some epoxy as the last touch to give it that slimy, wet, realistic look. And here it is, all finished and so beautiful. To find more of my work, go to sculptedfromnothing.com